Let's talk about the games I played this year. 2022 was a good year for gaming. As a parent, I don't have a whole lot of time to play every single game, so the ones I do get to check out are usually pretty special, especially if I spend money on it, because I want to make sure I get the most playtime I can out of it, and I'm more likely to finish them most of the time. So this list, nothing's in any particular order except the very last game is my personal game of the year. Let's kick it off. We have first up Overwatch 2. Overwatch is a very special game for me. My wife and I have played it since just about the time it came out. We played it a lot over the years. We have friends that have played it. We have I stream it a lot, and usually when I'm streaming, my wife plays with me. Sometimes we'll set up consoles in the living room, side by side TVs and stuff, and just enjoy it. So when Overwatch 2 came out, it was almost like they breathed fresh life into the game, making it free to play. A lot more people playing, cross-play, cross-progression. It just opened up a lot of opportunity for other people to come in and play the game with us that we've enjoyed over the years. That's not to say it's a perfect game. No game on this list is, and we'll get into those, but I think Overwatch 2 is personally one of my favorite games this year because it's a constant. I can go back to it and play it. I know what I'm getting into. For me, it's easy to dive back in and not miss a whole lot. And going into 2023, I'm looking forward to the PvE modes, new maps, new characters, and whatever else the roadmap has. I'm hoping for some improvements to things like the shop and events, and just I think things will continue to get better. But as it stands right now, I like where Overwatch 2 is, and I'm still enjoying it. All right, this next game might upset some people. Technically, it didn't come out in 2022, but I played it this year at the recommendation of a very good friend who, we listen to our friends when they recommend games, and he was on the money when he told me I would enjoy this game. Me and my wife got sucked into like staying up late and trying to figure out stuff. Outer Wilds. Now, this game was originally released, I believe, in 2018, 2019, somewhere in there, and it doesn't get a whole lot of it didn't get a whole lot of praise or recognition when it launched. But it's got good reviews, and a lot of people will tell you if they've played it, it's worth playing. And I'm in that camp. I loved every bit of this game. There was a good bit of challenge. I loved the way the narrative plays out, the whole gameplay mechanic, just with the loop and everything. The whole game, I think, is worth playing and experiencing. And it's one of the few games that I've wanted to go in and get all of the achievements because they're fun to do. I still have a few left to get, but I think overall, as far as narratives go, one of my favorite stories I've experienced in gaming, and I just enjoyed it. I just think, it was a very simple premise. They present a good, compelling story in a very unique way, and I enjoyed it. I can't go on without spoiling a whole lot, but if you haven't picked up Outer Wilds or played it, definitely do so. I believe it's on Game Pass. For some reason, I just had it in my library. Okay, let's get into another one that is doing well enough in sales, right? Let's talk about Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. And I know people will say, oh, it's so buggy, it still needs to be fixed. Let me tell you, I played Sword and Shield for the first time this year. I played the Diamond and Pearl remakes last year. And this game is way more fun than either of those. Glitches, visuals aside, I'm having so much fun. Just with the new free roam open world mechanics, exploration is fun. The glitches are really funny sometimes, except when the game crashes. I think those things need to be addressed sooner rather than later. And again, not every game on this list there's no perfect game on this list. Every game has issues, but I'm having so much fun with this game, so much more than I thought I would. I keep wanting to go back and play it. Streams with this game have been a lot of fun, and just overall, it's just pure fun. And that to me is what gaming's about, is having fun. And so I'm having fun with this game. There's nothing in the game that has made me want to throw my controller or quit. And I'm just excited to finish the story at some point. I've really been taking my time with it. I just think, we all know there's problems. We all know that there's a lot that needs to be fixed. But overall, this game is worth playing. And it is a fun Pokemon game, and let's just leave it at that. Let's talk about Tunic. What's not to love about this game? I haven't finished it yet, and it's one of those games that I'll sit down and play for a few minutes, try to remember where I was, discover something I haven't seen before, and then get sucked into the story for an hour, hour and a half. And very few games have been able to do that for me lately. And this game just, I mean, I love the way they have taken retro ideas, infused them with something new and fresh, and have just an interesting story that you just get to figure out as you play it. There's no dialogue that just drives you to do stuff. There's no, super clear instructions. There's like, hey, you need to go do the thing, but it doesn't paint the path for you like so many modern exploration, like open world games tend to do. I love it. I love the way you learn about the world of Tunic and the characters, and everything in the game is just appealing. Visuals are great. Gameplay is tight. I learned how to do some stuff late in the game, because I know I'm at the end of the game, or at least some form of end of the game. But I learned how to do some moves I had no idea how to do. And then, you learn that a lot of the stuff you figure out towards the end, you could have done the whole time. And so it makes like repeat playthroughs a lot more appealing, because you don't have to slog through ability trees or specific upgrades if you don't really want to go that route, and I like the challenge the game offers. But overall, Tunic, it's just fun. Like, there's so many of the games on this list I just have fun with, and that really speaks volumes for how great gaming was this year. Okay, so the last game on this list that we'll talk about is Pokemon Legends Arceus. Say what you will, Scarlet and Violet was already on this list, yes, and those games are fun. I've already talked about them. But I think Arceus has set a standard that Scarlet and Violet kind of missed for me. On top of, let's just say that Arceus brought me back into playing Pokemon games. I didn't want to play through Shield until I finished Arceus and wanted to play more Pokemon and wanted to do newer Pokemon stuff. I was playing Diamond and Pearl, the remakes at the time. They were okay. I got kind of bored. I'm gonna be completely honest. But Arceus did so many things right for me in playing a Pokemon game that had not been done to that point. It was the first time they did kind of the big open exploration, zero wild encounters. Everything you see in the overworld, you can choose to battle it. My favorite mechanic, just being able to catch Pokemon, just to be able to chuck Pokeballs and catch whatever you saw, being able to sneak around and be stealthy. I just really enjoyed this game, and I appreciate that it brought me back into wanting to play like the main Pokemon games, because I had so much fun completing the Pokedex and finding just where all these Pokemon showed up, and just overall playing this game. I think that's the theme. If 2022, as far as gaming goes, had a theme for me, it's I had fun, and that's all that matters. If you manage to catch any streams or clips of me playing Arceus, some of it was, I don't know what's going on, but I'm enjoying it. And then some of it was, I think most of it was, wow, I'm just entertained by what I'm doing. And I don't feel like, at no point during like the main game did I just get like super bored or uninterested because things just slogged on. I found a lot of enjoyment in going from point A to point B, but then, some of the side quests, as grindy as they might have felt to some people, as boring as they might have been to some people, I was just entertained. It was chill. It wasn't a high stakes game for me. I was just like, okay, we'll go here. We'll do the thing. Well, sure, I'll go catch that Pokemon for you. I enjoyed it. I think I was disappointed when Scarlet and Violet didn't include the catching mechanics of this game, but I would have liked a lot of features from Arceus to go into Scarlet and Violet that didn't make it. But that's probably the biggest one. I think overall, Legends of Arceus set us up for expecting more out of Scarlet and Violet than we got, but all the games on this list are fun. Arceus is my game of the year only because it just changed my opinion on Pokemon games. Whereas I never disliked Pokemon, I just was bored with the mainline games, and this game kind of fixed that for me. because it set the expectation that Scarlet and Violet were going to be really good. And I hope that makes sense. You know, I don't want to dog on Scarlet and Violet. It's in this list. I just think that Arceus I enjoyed that much more. And technically I'm still playing Scarlet and Violet. Well, I'm playing Violet. But it's on my list because I really like it. I think it has made that much of an impact on me to make this list. Arceus I finished. It took a while. It took me a while to get through like the whole thing. But even like the post-launch updates were cool. You know, I know there were rumors, heavy rumors about DLC coming. It was kind of a bummer that they didn't happen. But I got to play through Shield because I played Arceus. And I went back and played Shield and its DLC, and I had fun with it. And I think it's because I could kind of see what Game Freak had been building up to with, you know, by the release of Arceus and then Scarlet and Violet. And it just made me appreciate the Pokemon series as a whole in a new way. And I don't know if anybody else had that encounter or had that experience, but I know I did. Well, let me know what you guys thought of this list and tell me down in the comments what your games of the year were. Game of the year. What did you enjoy this year? Did you enjoy anything on this list with me? And then, you know, we're looking into 2023. I'm excited to see what's coming. But I hope you have enjoyed this video. If this is your first time coming here, please consider subscribing for more gaming content. We do a semi-frequent gaming news show, and there are streams and shorts, and you know, I just appreciate you checking out the video. If you've made it this far, please consider subscribing, and yeah, we'll have another video soon. Thanks.